Welcome back. It is Tuesday, July 9th, 2024, here at PreciseAlgorithmTrading.com. I'm going to do a really fast video tonight, so I'm only going to cover the indexes and the bullish percent indexes because I wasn't even going to make a video tonight, but I'm going to be I'm not going to be able to make a video tomorrow night, so um, I'll go ahead and do this quick one tonight, and then I'll hopefully catch up at the end of the week. So here's the combination of all the indexes, and it's still kind of going higher, but you can see we had a little pullback today. Yeah, that's today. So, but let's start at the top and look at the S&P 500. It continued. It went up 4 points, which is next to nothing. I don't know what Bud's doing in my indexes here. The industrials went down 52 points, and they are still sideways but green. I'll zoom that back out again because I think that's not helpful. But they're still, I think, consolidating and pushing up towards this. If I extend that to the right, and then I can extend this to the right. I got a triangle pattern going here that should play out by about 10-1, if not sooner. So that's interesting. Believe it or not, that's you can use these triangles like that and say, and you can put a kind of a timer on it and say, well, we should break out before that, before it comes together, which it can do at any time, but it's funny how that plays. So the question is going to be, are we going to break out or break down? So I think we'll have to keep watching like the Russell 2000. So the Russell is doing something similar if you draw a triangle on here. And I've got it on the IWM because I'm in the middle of a trade for that one. And we're in a squeeze, and the question is going to be is which way are we going to break out? So you can see I've got that on there. Extend to the right. So, and again, well, that's 8-1. So 2 months earlier for the Russell, and it's not as much of a consolidation. Obviously, we're pulling back here. So the question is going to be is, will this I was calling it kind of an inverted head and shoulders pattern, but it's not really. It's just a mess with a. But if this thing pulls back and then breaks out, then it's kind of a cup and handle. So, all right, let's move on. So the Russell today actually went down 0.19, or I'm sorry, 9.19, and that's 0.45%. The Nasdaq continues to go higher, and it went up 25 points. This thing was, I think, all over the map today because it sure looked like it was up a lot more than that a time or two when I heard things on the news today. I was doing a lot of driving, so yeah, that candle had a lot of back and forth in it. It's a little one though. All right, that's the Nasdaq. The so we got the E-minis, the S&P, the Russell, the Dow, and the Nasdaq. I think that's really it. And then the IYT, which looks like it's breaking down, which really doesn't bode well for what it's worth for the rest of the market. Dow theory says that if the industrials make it, then the transports ship it, and they need to both be kind of going together, or else you've got a mixed market. So we got a mixed market, and even though this is also in a squeeze, so we could get a false breakdown before we get the breakout. Bearish future cloud on the Ichimoku though. So oil. Alright, I took a position. It's only a partial position in oil because we're getting close to the 21 EMA, which is what my orange line is here. So I was looking to buy on a pullback, and I'm starting to accumulate a position, and that's not a recommendation. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. You got to trade at your own risk. But I know how to exit this if I'm wrong in short order. And I'm also going to buy more if I get more of a pullback. So, a reasonable pullback. Alright, that's oil. Gold doesn't look... It's still too toppy for me, just on the monthly chart, even though we got bullish indications going on the daily. I started looking at silver today. It's not as toppy, but still pretty toppy. The last few months we've gone to all 5 of these targets. So ripped right through them actually. So all right. IYT for bonds. I'm sorry, TLT for bonds. TLT. And TLT is looking pretty. It's just mixed. If I had to make a call, it'd be bearish. By the way, today was my I think best bearish day ever for trading, and so I had probably the best one that was on here is BP. You can see we had a bearish candlestick, and I just was going on the follow through of it. All the other indicators were playing out pretty well, and the price literally went from this pivot to down here. Now I got to get out all my trades pretty soon because I'm not going to hold this through earnings, but that's pretty cool. That made 100% profit on a couple of options for what it's worth. So looks like I think it's actually 50% on the ones I have left. So I had some short term that made 100%. Pretty cool. And that's just one example. I've got a few of them, like Cardinal Health. It's doing the same thing. It's similar anyway. So anyway, that's a couple of examples of some things. It's probably why Bud's showing up over here, because I got Bud on as a trade, and it's a bearish trade. Same kind of thing. We had a big red candle, and we got a bounce, and I'm trying to do some follow through. So Bitcoin or BITO is nothing to get excited about because it was a red candle that just fell all apart, and I mean it was a bearish trade. So, and then yeah, all right, I'm gonna wrap this up. Go to stockcharts.com, point and figure, bullish, and look at the bullish percent indexes. So the industrials today didn't move. The NYA down 1.08%. The transports didn't move. The NASDAQ down 0.38%. The S&P 500 down 1.09%. The S&P 100 didn't move. And the NASDAQ 100 didn't move. That's what I got for today. Catch you guys in a couple days. Take care until then, and happy trading.